So, Hannah, everybody's talking about some new revelations this week regarding the killing of JFK and the CIA. What the heck just went down?
All right, Brad, I don't know what you were doing in high school. I was not doing normal things, as you might have suspected. I spent a lot of time researching JFK and writing papers about it. So I follow this case closely, and we have been finally getting some drips of information in recent years. First in 2017, Trump pushed for more of the documentation around this to be released. 2021, we got a little bit more, and then in the past month, we just got a little bit more. And while we still don't know anything concretely, everything we're finding out seems to be moving in the direction of the government having a lot more knowledge of this than they conveyed at the time, especially during things like the Warren Commission. So basically, according to Newsweek, a corps of researchers looking into the 1963 assassination of President John F. Kennedy say they have unearthed proof his alleged assassin, Lee Harvey Oswald, was involved in an operation by the CIA mere months before the killing, reigniting questions about whether the Oswald truly was alone in his decision to kill the youngest man ever elected president. In a Tuesday press conference at the National Press Club, Jefferson Morley, a veteran of the D.C. Press Corps and a preeminent expert on JFK's assassination with the Mary Farrell Foundation, told reporters that he and attorneys with the foundation obtained documentation relating to a still classified covert operation approved by senior CIA officials 3 months before Kennedy's death that suggested the agency used Oswald for intelligence purposes several weeks prior to the shooting. They say the document is one of several that researchers obtained this month as a result of an October lawsuit, and is a precursor to a fuller release of documents anticipated by the National Archives this month. There is a mandated release of records that dates back to a 2021 memo by President Joe Biden's administration that orders the release of all documents related to the JFK assassination after several delays by agencies like the CIA and FBI. Attorneys for the Mary Farrell Foundation argued that the agencies have illegally stalled the release of more than 16,000 additional documents related to the case over concerns they could potentially compromise the names of individuals and the methods used in intelligence gathering activities more than a half century ago. So, that's where we're at.
Yeah, so I have a couple questions here. One, I mean, the big theory that everyone on the internet says is that the CIA killed JFK. Now, these revelations do not prove this to be true. It's possible, who knows really, but it does prove a connection between Lee Harvey Oswald and the CIA that they denied. They always said there was no connection, but apparently he did work with them before the shooting. So that's a red flag. We don't know for sure what that means, but clearly they've been very, very misleading and not at all forthcoming with information about this. And that's what I'm wondering too. They say to protect people. Well, it's from 60 years ago. They're all dead. Who are you protecting by not releasing more information about this? Because this is clearly a matter of the public interest.
Yeah, it's total BS. I mean, they've been stalling and trying to delay this forever. It's utter hogwash that in any way this could harm any intelligence operations still ongoing, that could hurt people working within the intelligence community. They always want to use this excuse. It's the same line over and over, whether it's Edward Snowden or it's Julian Assange, anybody who's actually revealing their crimes against humanity, their crimes against the Constitution. They always want to say, oh, that person's endangering people within the security community, even if they've been dead for 40, 50 years. It's get a different talking point. No, it's not. We don't buy it. We're not falling for it. Give us the documents. Quit stalling. And while, no, we cannot say conclusively who was behind JFK's assassination, I think it has become very, very clear that Lee Harvey Oswald was not this, just radical lone gunman operating alone that nobody knew about. And he just went rogue and, fired a bunch of shots on a day, totally of his own volition, and nobody else was involved. Everything about this case has always been sus. The Warren Commission was sus. We've already seen many of the theories put forth really be challenged when they've been put under scrutiny. I personally have been to the Texas School Book Depository where the shooting happened. I've examined it. It's a hard shot for one person to make. I firmly think there were other shooters involved that day. I think the whole way Lee Harvey Oswald was killed by this mafia member who just went rogue and shot him, and police just have to be trotting him back out in this alley. Everything about it was just sus and weird, and I want answers and I want all the documents, and I think that it's been long enough. It's time they release it. And I think the CIA should be scrutinized here because there's several people who had motives and reasons to want JFK dead, but the CIA is among them, right? The Bay of Pigs operation had gone really poorly. You have him basically threatening to get rid of the CIA throughout his tenure. So as a whole, I have questions, and I do not trust these people.
No, I don't, and I just say we can't put it past the government. Some of the things that we've seen and heard that they've done really would blow your mind, but we don't know. But these new revelations do shed some light And really, they just remind us that we need all the details. There's no excuse for keeping all this stuff under wraps, and we should all be demanding more accountability.
That's right. Well, I'm looking forward to the rest of the archives coming out hopefully this month. We'll keep you posted. Until then, stay based. We'll talk to you soon.